So here we have our completed design. In this case it's a funnel web spider, and from this we can print our left list, our layer list, which shows us how to lay the threads out on the jigs, and we can print a grid which we can use as a reference, or if we want to we can weave directly from the grid. Earlier I referred to a layer list. You're probably wondering, what is a layer list? A layer list is simply a printout from Pick2Weave which instructs you on which colours to load into your jigs in which order to form your weave. So if we look on the screen, we can see that down the left side of the screen we've got all our jig slots numbered from 1 to however many is in your weave, and we can see I've placed a rule along jig slot number 71, and on our first layer we'll load in a 1641 Madeira polyneon thread. Then we'll go all the way through all our first layers and put all those threads in. Then we move on to the second layer, and on that same 71 slot we'll load an 1862 Madeira polyneon, and on the third layer we'll load a 1758 colour into that slot. You'll notice on this particular printout the lines are actually printed in the same colour as the thread to help you identify which one to load into the slot. When it comes to actually doing your weave, there's a couple of ways to go about it. Some people prefer to work off a left list, some people prefer to work directly off the grid pattern, where they've coloured in the various grid cells to form the pattern of the weave. I prefer to actually use both in conjunction with each other, primarily working from the left list but consulting the grid when it comes to complicated colour changes and so on. So here we see a grid pattern as printed out by Pick2Weave. You'll notice that the grids are coloured into the various thread colours and that each one is numbered. As I said, some people like to refer directly to this grid. There's no need to actually use a left list if you don't wish to, but most people find it simpler to use a left list and simply refer back to the grid as required. Often when we're talking about weaving we refer to a left list. So what is a left list? Simply put, a left list is a list of threads that should be placed on the left jig for any given rotation of the blank in order for that pattern to appear on your weave. Now, Pick2Weave produces a left list with a slightly different format than the traditional. This has been done deliberately, and I believe it results in an easier to understand left list, particularly for the newcomer, and results in the potential for less mistakes. If we look at the left list on the screen, the traditional method was to represent any area where a number of threads remained in the left list as two numbers with a dash between. If we look up here we can see that exact scenario, so we know that all the threads from 44 to 46 remain in the jig. Now with Pick2Weave I've changed that slightly so that that's only the case if no changes occur between one rotation and the next. Looking at our left list here, we can see lines 44 and 45 haven't changed here. 46 was added, so from that line to that line 44 to 46 haven't changed. Same again here, 44 to 46 haven't changed. We can see 47, 48, 49, 50 and 51 have all been added in with the same colour. So on this line here, lines 44 to 51 remain the same. Now if we move down slightly further, we can see on line rotation 52 we have threads 33, 34, 35 in the left jig in black. On the next line we also have lines 33, 34 and 35. However, this time they're in light grey, so rather than represent them with two numbers with a line between, they're once again three separate numbers with a comma between, indicating that something's happening with those threads. Similarly, whenever a new thread is added, they're added as individual threads, not as a series. So on this line here, we can see we had line 25 before, but we've added 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 and 32. Once again, they've been indicated in the actual colour that they are. So rather than put 25-30 or even 25-32, which would have been the case previously, each one is represented individually to show that you must do something with that thread in the jig. I believe this results in an easier to read left list, and one that results in less mistakes on your weave. When you're talking an investment in time of 8, 10, even 20 hours on a single weave, the more that you can reduce your chances of a mistake, the better. So in use, we refer to our left list and move our threads from the right jig to the left jig. If we refer to rotation number 51 on the screen, we can see that we show threads 32, and then all threads from 44 to 52, 53, 54 and so on. If we pan up to our jig, we can see thread 32 loaded, then threads 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 and 50 as per the left list. So simply we follow each line in turn, then do one rotation of the rod. Load the next line, do one more rotation.